Hello folks, Joey Image here with another video for you. I'm going to try to make this one quick, but I got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinions, my thoughts on the iPhone X. Now this phone was released on November 2nd, 2017. I got it on launch day. I will link my unboxing video down below for you. And I figure it's been about 6 weeks and a couple days. I figure 6 weeks of use is a good time to give you my thoughts, my opinions, my review, basically. So let's get right into it. I took some notes I've got written down here in front of me. I'm going to read this to you. This is not really in any specific order, just a bunch of thoughts that float out of my head. First of all, the size of the iPhone X, iPhone X, whatever you want to call it, to me it's perfect. Now my previous phone was a 7 Plus. Before that was a 6S Plus. I got both of those phones because I liked the cameras, but really the size of them was just too big for me. It was too big and bulky. It was uncomfortable to hold. I couldn't do a lot of stuff one-handed because of the size. It was difficult to pull in and out of my pocket. Just wasn't a big fan of the size. I loved the cameras, like I said, but just the size wasn't really for me, which I complained about more than one occasion. So thankfully, this is back to the size of the 5S/4S, or the 6 and the 7. Not the exact size, but very, very, very close to that. So this is a lot more comfortable to hold. It's a lot more comfortable to put in and out of my pocket, and just to hold it and do things on, it's a lot easier. So I very much appreciate the size. What else? Face ID. Face ID works. It just works, man. It's beautiful. Touch ID worked great as well, and I'm glad we've got Face ID. I'll show it to you now. Basically, all you do is tap the screen. It wakes up just like that, and then when I look at it, you'll see the lock icon, which is up here, go from locked to unlocked. So, and it takes 2 seconds. I mean, not even. Watch, here we go. That's it. I mean, that's it. I'll do it again, and we can count it this time. Yeah. So tap the screen. 1, 2, bam. It's open. Literally 2 seconds, and there we go. We're all set. I love it. Another thing, while I've got the phone unlocked here, the speed. The speed of the phone is great. It's super responsive. The touch is very responsive. Swiping is fast. Scrolling is fast. I really dig this speed a lot. Obviously, when a new phone comes out, you want to increase the speed. That's one of the perks. It's one of the sales pitches. And in this phone, it just works, man. It definitely works. Very, very fast. Here we go. Let's go to the radio thing. Very quick to scroll. You can see right there, as well as swiping. Swiping is also very fast. So here we go, and no problems with that. The touch response time is amazing. I dig it. Looks great without the case. That's another thing I put in my notes there. I do have a screen protector on it, which you can tell, but this looks great without. Even my 7 Plus, size complaints aside, I still thought it looked great without the case. This phone looks beautiful. You can see all the fingerprints in the back. That's something that I'm not thrilled about, but this phone just looks damn good without the case on it. I do have a bunch of cases right here. Just put the phone down for a second. I've got a clear case with bumper corners. This was $2. I've got a Spigen case right here, just solid black. Another Spigen case right here, which is clear and black. So these two cases, the Spigen case I actually ordered off of Amazon before the phone even got here. So I had these for about 3 days before the phone arrived. And one more clear case, blue tinted on the sides. Pretty cool, I like that. This is probably the one I'm going to be using regularly, this with the bumpers in the corner. I got this off of Wish, aka Geek. It was $2. And this is the same case I also had on my 6S Plus and my 7 Plus. And I really love the little bumpers in the corners. What else do we got? The sound. The speakers are beautiful in this phone. A lot of the time I don't use it with the speakers. A lot of the time I do have a Bluetooth headset somewhere around here that I use a lot. But still, the speakers are great. What I like a lot about it is that they supposedly they increase the volume. I think it was 20% or 25%, something like that. So it definitely shows. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so unfortunately I will not be playing any music for you. But just so you know, the speakers are awesome. Actually, you know what I can do? once in a while, I will sit at my desk, and when I'm doing something, I will have this on my phone, or I should say, I'll have music playing on the phone, and I'll have the speakers, obviously the speakers working then, but not very often. It's not like I want to, like, I don't use the phone for video a lot. I don't really use it for music a lot either, but when I need to. The David DeFranco family Halloween Christmas party from 2 weekends ago. I was there. It was a great time, and Dave gave me one of his munch packs. He had an extra one. So you can hear. My very first. This is all the way up right. The volume's all the way up right now. Let's check it out. I was actually gonna wait. And it sounds great to me. It's very loud, a lot louder than previous phones, obviously, and I think that's a great touch and a great improvement. Another thing. I'm going to talk about one more thing I like, and then I'm going to talk about one annoyance. The notch. So many people complain about the notch. I mean, to the point where there's actually an app in the App Store that's called Notch Remover. And what that does is not actually remove the notch. Here we go, 99 cents, notch remover. So it doesn't actually remove the notch. What it does is put this black bars behind the two, I don't know what you call them, wingtips? I don't know what you call them. But the two tips right here that are next to the notch, it makes those black. It puts a black background there. So that way you can't even tell the notch is there. It looks like one solid, continuous black line, which means the phone, the screen goes from here down. It's really kind of silly. Actually, there you go. You can see the screenshot right there. Personally, I think it's kind of silly. I don't understand the deal with the notch complaints. People knew what they were getting before they ordered the phone or before they bought the phone. So if you didn't like the notch, don't get the phone with the notch. There was 2 other brand new iPhones that came out around about a month earlier than this one did. Get one of those. But anyway, I'm sure I'll get some heat in the comments for my love of the notch, but whatever. It doesn't do me any bad. It works. A lot of apps nowadays are being updated with it. This version of iOS 11 is not the same as every other version. The iPhone 10 iOS 11 is a different version. It's iPhone 10 specific to accommodate the notch. So it's very, I don't know, it's very cool. I like it. I think it's a cool design. I'm constantly wiping it to get fingerprints off it, even though there's a screen protector, because screen protector is a fingerprint magnet. But anyway, so that's my basic thoughts. I love this phone. I definitely love this phone. I plan on keeping this for a long time. I know there's already rumors about next year's iPhone. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't really see myself needing anything better than this. But, we'll see what happens. I can say this, though. One annoyance, and this is not an iPhone 10 annoyance. This is an iOS 11 annoyance, is turning off Wi-Fi. Let me open the phone up right here. So turning off Wi-Fi. Now, when I turn off Wi-Fi, right, it only shuts off the... You see how the icon is still lit up. Now, it only shuts off the signal to the current Wi-Fi that I'm on, which now is my home. But if I leave the house and go out somewhere, it'll automatically reconnect to the next Wi-Fi it finds, which would be optimum Wi-Fi where I live. Now, my problem with that is, if I turned off the Wi-Fi, it's because I don't want to use Wi-Fi at the time. Or I don't have Wi-Fi, or I'm not near one I recognize or trust. Now, I would much rather the Wi-Fi just shut off when I turn it off. But to do that, I've got to go into settings, because there you can see how it's still on, even though you just saw me turn it off. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. So, it's still on, even though you just saw me turn it off. So, you actually have to turn it off that way to do it. And that's super annoying, but I don't know. It's supposed to be a convenience thing, I think, but it's very inconvenient. I'm not a big fan of it. And actually, I'll give you a good example why. If I shut that off and I leave the house and I'm driving and I've got, say, Pandora streaming, while it's playing Pandora via LTE, in the background, it's still searching for a Wi-Fi signal if it can pick one up. So what happens is it will pick up, again, optimum Wi-Fi. It'll pick up, there's a neighbor 2 or 3 houses down, it'll pick up that when I drive by. So then it tries to switch from LTE to the Wi-Fi that it just picked up, which interrupts what I'm listening to, music-wise, podcast, whatever it is. So it interrupts that for a few seconds, and then it goes back. To me, that's just poor design. That's the only feature, by the way, of iOS that I don't like. So basically, if I turn the Wi-Fi off, I want the Wi-Fi to be off. I don't want to turn the Wi-Fi off only for it to leave the Wi-Fi on, which doesn't make any sense to me. But that's my only complaint about this phone and this iOS version. Again, that's not an iOS, that's not an iPhone 10 complaint. That is specifically an iOS 11 complaint. But overall, I love this phone. It just works for me, and that's what matters. I know people are going to tell me, you shouldn't have got that. You should have got an Android phone, or, you know, $600 cheaper, blah, blah. Well, I didn't. I got this because I like this. I love this phone. It works for me. Everything that's on the phone and everything that the phone does is what I need or what I use. Everything that's on Android may be great for you, but for me, this is the phone that I want. So please hold your you should have gotten an Android phone arguments for someone that cares, because I don't. I buy what I like, you buy what you like, and that's the way it should work. You know, don't try to condemn me for liking something just because you don't like it. So, that being said, have a good day. Please check me out on Twitter, twitter.com/JoeyImage, or by the time you see this, it may be twitter.com/RealJoeyImage, which I'm also working on at the moment, and facebook.com/RealJoeyImage, apple.com, iPhone 10. See you soon.